Hello, everybody, and Happy New Year. This is our first session for the new season. So, thanks for joining me and for this special live session. I'm Itzik Amiel, and we are here with a weekly sweet series called The Switched On, where we share ideas, insights, and inspiration to help you as a professional to switch relationships to revenue, referrals, and reputation and standing out. And you're very much invited. If you are seeing it now, you are live, and you're very invited to join wherever you are from. And I welcome all of you for joining in. Now, already from the beginning of the new year, beginning of reminders, to remind you all, every strategy or solution I share in this episode and any other episode, we can help you get much more out of it by advising your firm, mentor you, or your colleagues, of course, and even execute it for you with our done for you services. So never be shy to ask and get connected and ask any question you want also during the session. And let me add value to you, to your practice, to your organization or career. Okay? I hope that's already an arrangement from the beginning of our session. Because today we're going to talking about something very important to all of you, client retention strategies, or as I mentioned it, client retention guide. Or in other words, specifically more, how do you keep your clients for the longer term? Again, thank you for all of you joining me. Please feel comfortable to put your name in the chat and where you're dialing from so I know and everybody else know. And of course, if you have any questions for me during the session, do it as well in the part. I'm under the video in the chat so I can answer this question also during the session, but also afterwards in case you missed the live session. See, as we start the new year, it's a great time to think about how to correct some of our wrong mindsets, if you allow me to say that. So really we can retain more of our existing clients. Now, during a retreat I did with international law firm last year, the managing partner mentioned to me, and I want to quote him what he said to me because I think it's resonant with a lot of you. He said, "We are so busy with day-to-day work, so I haven't had a time to follow up with my clients in a nearly a month." Yes, a month. See, many lawyers or many professionals used to, or use or still maybe relying on steady long-term retainer arrangement, but they might struggle to adapt and keep client for the long haul. See, when we're facing with disruption like recessions or political upheavals, or the approach might be wrong, or maybe you're one of them. So here's a question for you. Maybe you never asked yourself this question, so it's time to ask it. What is your plan when the usual way of doing business is shaken by economic downturn or unexpected changes? Do you have any plan? That's the reason I decided in this episode to share with you some of the myths about retaining and keeping your client for lifetimes and the principles that can help you maintain and grow your client base. Now, based on my personal work with many lawyers around the world, as you all know, and other professionals I mentor and train, these strategies can help you make the coming year even more successful and have a big win to accelerate the growth of your practice or your career. And that's why I want you to listen to me. If there is one reason, that is the reason. And to guide us through this episode, I will use quotes from real conversation I had with clients or professionals and my advice how to solve the matter in a way that help you retain your clients for the longer term. Our aim in this episode. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me. Thank you, David, Anna, Malesh, Rose, David, Sean, Anna number two, Bereni, Alod, Frank, David, Jeroen, Yaron, Dalisi, Nakro, Von, Amirandango, if I pronounce it right, Melissa, David, Chauvel, Deborah, Dengo, Sam, Susan. Oh, thank you for all of you for joining again. I'm seeing it. You're welcome to put your name under the chat so we all know you're here with me. But before I go again deeper, I want to remind you if you have any question, put it also in the chat because we're speaking today about keeping your clients for the longer term. So the first quote I want to share with you today, quote number one, was one of the clients said, "My client just don't have the time to see me. See, some lawyers think that their clients don't have the time to see them, or even worse than that, they don't want to see them. And when I ask these lawyers, like this example, why do you think this way? The reasoning that they give me is that the client doesn't have much time available, or not much money to spend, or the client doesn't want to be sold to. See, this attitude, of course, says more about the mindset of the professional, maybe you, than on the client. Your client rely on you more than you might realize. The legal issues can be really intricate and deeply personal, requiring not just legal expertise, but also someone trustworthy to guide them through these tough decisions. See, they need seasoned advisor who really can offer calm, experienced advice. While growing your client base is essential, it's also quietly important, equally important, if you may say, to recognize that building relationship, building meaningful connections might take time. So sometimes showing care, showing empathy to your clients outweigh the need for aggressive sales pitches that many people think. Because prioritizing the needs of your clients can strengthen your long term relationship with them more than any sales tactics. So, my advice here, proactively reach out to your clients and offer support in their challenges. And let's see what they're telling you. Practice patience and be ready to dedicate additional time to assist them. Okay, so that's number one for today. And the next one I want to deal again, another way of retaining client. I want to share with you another quote from my client who says, quote number two, large companies are more attractive clients. Now, before I go deeper to share, I want to say again to thank you for all of you joining. Yes, I am live. It's a new season, new year, and welcome to join me. If you have any question, please put it in the chat. On there, we're speaking about client retention guide, and I just shared one quote, and I'm sharing the second one right now. So again, the next quote is number two: is large companies are more attractive clients. Yeah, I get it. Law firms have often relied on large corporations with substantial budget as their primary source of income. I know, I've been there. I did the same. But this is the reason why many law firms invest time and effort in retaining these clients, these sort of client, large company, while on the other hand, ignoring, let me be more gentle, more polite, do not put enough efforts to retain and maintain the relationships with the small and medium clients. And that's a mistake. Because did you notice that the big companies, this big corporation, loyalty to service provider like you and me got shorter? See, nowadays, as we all know, big corporations have tighter control over their expenses and often really implementing widespread directive to really cut costs. See, this shift can leave legal service provider like you and me without the reliable income they once had. So do not ignore your small and medium clients. I want you to invest time and efforts in retaining them as well. You want some reason why? So here's some reason why. Because medium small company also could be attractive to your practice. Number one, a big operation decision maker often takes a long time. Second reason, at smaller mid-sized companies, the value you provide is typically more visibly appreciated. Reason number three, you likely engage with top level executive in a small medium company, such as the general counsel or the CEO, and is really helping fostering stronger loyalty to you and to your firm. And number four, working with smaller clients can give young lawyers the chance to cultivate crucial relationship management skills and advisory skills they need in a very less pressurized environment. And number five may be more interesting. After all large companies started small, right? So if you start with them, you may grow, or your practice may grow with them. So my advice here, don't overlook small and medium-sized companies that may have a greater flexibility to retain and pay you as a lawyer who can really add value to them. Okay, ready for the next quote I want to do today to retain your client for the longer term? So another quote I got from another client of mine who says, "We cannot afford it now." That's what they heard from client. We need to slow down the business development effort this year. This is, by the way, what managing director of a law firm told me recently. Yeah, really, yes, that's what I was told. Yeah, and indeed, during slow time period in your practice, it's important to keep close eye on and likely reduce your expenses in really certain areas. However, there's a crucial areas where a sluggish market, especially in a sluggish market, you should consider boosting investment, business development, and client retention. See, compared to other professional services firm, law firm typically allocate minimal budget to business development. But in fact, only small increase in efforts in this area, if properly focused and more intentional, of course, in what you're doing it, you can get much more return on investment. So my advice here, in the slow time in your practice, try to increase your market share, increase your growth strategies through enhanced intentional business development efforts and greater investment in identifying client problem you could solve. And as I proved again and again to many of the lawyers I mentor and help, it will elevate you and your practice above your competitors and help you retain your client for the longer term. Exactly what we wanted. And yeah, okay, great. So yeah, we are live. Those who were asking me, yes, we are, and definitely you're very welcome to join me. Speaking about client retention guide, I give you some quotation from clients, a way to think, mindset they had, and how do I deal with it in order that you be able to retain your client for the longer term. And again, questions in the chat on there, I'll be happy to answer. The next quote by the client quote number 4 is, "Showing my specialized expertise is crucial, especially when clients are watching the spending closely." Here's the truth, my friend. Most lawyers tend to rely solely on their expertise when things get tough. Maybe you can recognize it for yourself. I'm not sure if you have been there, you probably know it. But position yourself as an expert to hire. It's good, but as you probably heard me saying many times before, simply being an expert is not enough. Also, when I teach personal branding and I'm helping lawyers build the personal, but I'm saying expert is not enough. If you want to keep your client for the long term, it's crucial to also build strong and trusted relationships, guide clients, and really offer valuable insight to truly make that expertise count in the eye of your client. So my advice here, if you want to keep your clients for long term, having insight, good judgment, wisdom if you want, and a calm approach can really often matter more to your clients than just your legal know-how. So pay attention to it if you want to keep your client for the longer term. Because in the crowded marketplace that we all have, legal experts become more like commodities. See what qualities like qualities like a clear headedness or a sound judgment take the forefront in your relationship with your clients, and that's what counts if you want to keep your clients for the long term, right? Great. I hope you're still with me. I'm happy. And the next quote that I want to solve in order to you to help you maintain your client for the longer term is the following quote number 5 of mindset of clients of mine, who says, "There's often a consistent need for what I offer." There's always a consistent what I offer. Interesting one. You see, this mindset overlook several crucial points. Firstly, as clients bring work in-house, the reliance on external counsel diminish, and we see it more and more and more clients building their own in-house capabilities, that they don't need so much external advice. Secondly, it really fosters a sense of complacency. See, in reality, client needs evolve continuously, and adapting is key. Because what client needs today, if you ask them, is may differ significantly from future needs, right? So staying closely connected with your clients, understanding their strategic moves, and swiftly really adjusting service offering is imperative to your practice and to keep them for the longer term. Moreover than that, many law firms operate in a separate practice silos. If you're a big firm, you know what I'm talking about. Because each managing really distant clients. And consequently, there are no oversight across this division to really cultivate what we call holistic client relationship, or really foresee emerging needs that the client have. Maybe you recognize this issue with your firm. So my advice here that I share again with each of the firm I train and advise is very simple. Avoid simply taking orders. Try to anticipate your client's need proactively. Prepare your team with the skills required for the upcoming work that lies ahead of you if you want to retain your client for the long term. Because satisfied client and willingness to advocate for your expertise become more and more if you keep them for the longer term. Okay? And the next quote I'm going to deal with is quote number 6. The client said, I will take any client that needs my help. Oh, wonderful saying. Again, if you have a question, ask it right away now in the chat. But let me start with an advice I give any lawyer I mentor and help grow the practice. Selecting the right client tailored to your services and the industry focus you have significantly shape and advance your practice and your career. Selection is very important. Let me say it again. Selecting the right clients tailored to your services and your industry focus significantly will shape and advance your practice in your career. In fact, observing all successful professionals I work with, it is a fact that they learn to balance the dedication to clients with independence, what I mean, carefully choosing whom they collaborate and with whom they serve. I trust you agree that if it makes no sense in the world if you don't have a real capability and a specific area of law or nobody else in your firm had, of course, this knowledge, you should not take this project, right? You better refer them to somebody else. So my advice here, if you want to keep your client for the long term, remember that taking every opportunity may seem beneficial initially, but it can lead to challenges and potentially worse outcome in the long term. So you better choose your client if you want to keep them for the longer term that fit your practice, fit your expertise. And the last quote for this episode, quote number 7 that I want to deal with. A client said to me once, I should prioritize my time with clients who are actively paying for my services. It seemed like an obvious choice, right? What he just said to me, what she said to me. But if you look at it from a client retention perspective, you may want to reconsider your thinking. Let me explain. We often prefer to work with successful clients. And I understand that, of course. Nothing wrong with it. But sometimes, just like us, our clients face tough times. And that's when they need our support the most. See, I'm often assisted professional navigating career changes by offering guidance, such as connecting them with the industry network. Just today, I had 2 calls like that, providing new direction for them, offering them advice on their transition to the new role. You see, this is the power of giving attention, as I wrote, of course, in length in my best-selling book, The Attention Switch. Now, I don't do this because I want to get anything back from them in the near future. Because if I did that, that's manipulation. I know as a fact that by giving someone else a genuine attention and helping them solve their problem, the critical problem they have, this is a really real value creation for them, and it's rarely forgotten. So here's a golden nugget for you as advice here if you want to retain a client for the long term. Your continuing help and respect for others make you stand out of the crowd and will keep you top of mind of your connection. Remember that that's a golden nugget, and if you do that constantly, you will never have a problem of getting new client. So my advice, when client needs you, it's when your value shines through. When the client needs you, that's where your value shines through. If you aim some by the way to learn more how to achieve each of these strategies, send me an email and I'll be happy to help. Of course, if you have any question, you can type right now on the chat and I'll be happy to answer right now. Or additionally, I send you back an email with my answer. At the end of the day, you see, client retention is about keeping your current client, large or small, happy. Because when done correctly, clients become unwilling to switch to another service provider. You can make you can make it more convenient for them to stay with you than tend to help from to tend to get help from a competitor. Because successful professional service firms are the ones that recognize that clients form the backbone of the business, and I trust you are one of them, my dear friend. Change your mindset and support your clients with retention strategies, as I shared with you in this episode, and they will support you. Now go out there, implement what you have learned, and make this year an amazing counting for you that you keep your clients for a long time. Again, if you need our help in implementing it in your practice or maybe teaching it to other partners in your firm, just get connected. Or if you just want to learn to build your authority in your fields and switch your existing connections and to build more clients, more opportunities, more referrals, this is exactly what we do for our client, professional like you and me around the world. We train them, we mentor them, and even doing the work for them by implementing these strategies I share with you in your practice. So if you want to help, send me an email or a private message via LinkedIn or any other channel to see how can I help. And I'll be happy to come to train, to help, and do more things for you. Next week, we have another amazing top expert to discuss a new practical strategy to grow your practice, albeit better relationship referrals and reputation. And if you want to make sure you never miss one of our weekly Switch on interview series, follow me on LinkedIn or go to the Switch Hub website and let me put it in front of you is hub.theswitch.ch, hub.theswitch.ch. You can sign up, get my biz development strategies and tips and ideas. And you can check and register to one of my new online courses, a live workshop also coming to you this year, or join our Switch membership community, which is exactly the same website, how.theswitch.ch slash join us, where you could find more information about Switch community to learn more how to grow your practice and brand. Again, it's on there is hub.theswitch.ch slash join us. And you're very welcome again to send me a private message or an email to ask any question and see how can I be of value to you and your practice. For now, my dear friends, I want to thank each one of you, and I see you still there, so thank you for that. Thank you for being me. Thank you for following the whole years and the coming year. I appreciate it a lot. See everyone next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Central European Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time. But for now is your job to go there and switch on and keep your clients for lifetime. Thank you everybody for being here, and I hope to see you very soon again. Bye for now.